Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm the Sarcastic Sloth. We're going to be looking at a couple of offerings, a couple of trailers from Marvel Comics on their YouTube channel. I know a lot of people have done a lot of videos on this, but I would like to just, have a view myself, because quite frankly I've only seen other people's opinions. I haven't actually watched the trailer, so I thought what I'd do is just a quick little review as my first video. I'm aware of a couple of the characters and the character names, and I'm very much looking forward to breaking that down with you guys. Now, like I say, it is my first video, so if anyone's, a bit worried about the lighting or the audio or anything of that nature, I'll just just calm down, alright? It's my first video. Alright, so I'll just calm down. So yeah, first off, we're going to have a little look at the New Warriors. Like I say, I've seen a couple of the names and a couple of the character designs, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing the group as a whole. So without further ado, let's crack on.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith, and I am the
Hello, Daniel Kibblesmith. How are you today, mate?
writer of New Warriors #1. I got interested in the New Warriors later. I remember seeing them on the shelf when I was a kid, picking up comics in the 90s, and just feeling like they were too cool for me. Like I was intimidated by, Night Thrasher had a blade coming out of his wrist.
I find it a bit peculiar that he's intimidated by comic books, yet decided to go into drawing comic books. But, give the guy a chance. Give the guy a chance.
Boba was really buff. They were all the edgy characters.
All the superheroes were buff back in the 90s, mate. Come on. Let's just be honest. I've got a bunch of comic books back under my bed there, and if I whip them out, even Spider-Man was ripped as, so come on, mate.
The 90s, as the cover said. New Warriors, I thought, were really interesting characters because they occupy this really cool space. They're forever young, but they've now been around for 30 years. My editors on the previous books I'd done, like Loki and Black Panther vs. Deadpool, asked if I'd be interested in doing a New Warriors tie-in that actually them as the authority figures in this conflict instead of the rebels. And I really authority figures in this conflict instead of the rebels, and I really liked the intention of that. So because the New Warriors are the authority figures in this story, they have to be mentoring new Warriors who are...
Oh, Alright, let's not judge. Let's not judge. I'm just looking at it from face value here, and you can't judge a book by its cover, alright?
Are under 21 and subject to the laws that triggered the outlaw.
Although technically, what I would say is with comic books, you are judging the book by its cover at the end of the day. If the cover ain't good, then you're probably not going to pick it up, are you? But whatever, mate. Semantics.
And this new law is making it illegal to be a vigilante under the age of 21. The artist on New Warriors #1 is Luciano Vecchio. He designed all of the new Warriors and gave them costumes that felt as modern as the New Warriors costumes, to sort of feel classic and instantly familiar.
I don't know if they're familiar, but they're something, alright. They're definitely something, aren't they?
So the first character that we're introduced to is Trailblazer. He's a Coleman Foster kid who is volunteering at a senior center when this mysterious threat shows up and Night Thrasher runs to the rescue. And because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs of this new outlawed law, and she inherited from her grandfather a magic backpack.
A magic backpack, you say? There's a lot of weird superpower. I mean, Howard the Duck exists, for Christ's sake, so I can't really go too hard on that. Do I think that's cool myself? No. But, it's a different generation, maybe.
Of divine origin. Pick the name Trailblazer because she's somebody who charges into action. She knows that she can do some good with this, mysterious gift that she's been given. Screen time is...
Screen time. Trailblazer you can get away with. Trailblazer you could even have gotten away with back in the 90s or in the 80s as well. Screen time?
A internet kid taken to its sort of logical conclusion. As a youth, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas.
What the f***? is experimental internet gas. Come on, man. Like, really? You better explain to me what exactly that internet gas is, because at this point, I am not sold.
And that has patched him permanently into the World Wide Web. The word screen time is only ever used in a sort of restrictive sense, and because we're doing a story about teenage rebels, a lot of the names are about teens fighting against labels that are put on them. So with screen time, we liked the idea that he has infinite screen time. Snowflake and Safe Space are
off, man. No, these were the ones that I've seen. These are the guys that I've seen. I mean, I'm already forgetting about the internet gas. That was so just forgettable. It's gone out of my mind. I don't know what it is anymore. Ta-ra! See you later. Snowflake and Safe Space. The thing is, right, usually when they used to make up superheroes and the names and the costumes and all of that, it had to be dynamic, and there had to be a bit of fear behind it. Like Batman, like bats freak a lot of people out. Spiders, I mean, I used to be freaked out by spiders. Like, I still am, but I can pop one in a glass and pop the card underneath it and just, Mum, open the window. It's one of those, but it's Snowflake and Safe Space. Oh my days.
the twins, and their names are very similar to screen time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet.
Yeah, they are. They are terms that get thrown around on the internet. You know what other terms get thrown around on the internet? Cuck, simp, I can go on and on.
That they don't see as derogatory, to take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor.
Imagine you're a criminal and you're about to get away with a crime. You bust out the bank, you've got the money, you've got the loot. Everything looks like it's going your way. And then all of a sudden you hear a scream from a passerby. Go, oh my god, look, it's Safe Space and Snowflake. I wouldn't be filled with terror, I'll tell you this right here and now. I'd tell them to swivel.
Safe Space is kind of a big burly sort of...
Is this a diss as well? I feel like that's a diss. Like, if for who... I mean, this is obviously meant for a very specific audience, but are they happy with this? I don't feel like they could be. I feel like that's a diss in itself. Like, I don't know.
Stereotypical jock. He can create force fields, but he can only...
He's a jock called Safe Space. I think you and I have a different definition of jock, mate.
Trigger them if he's protecting somebody else. Snowflake is non-binary and goes by they, them. Snowflake has the power to generate individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens.
I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't mind some crystallized shurikens. No, it wouldn't be bad, but I wouldn't be fighting crime with that, to be honest with you.
The connotations of the word snowflake in our culture right now are something fragile. And this is a character who is turning it into something sharp. Snowflake is the person who has the more offensive power, and Safe Space is the person who has the more defensive power. The idea was that they would mirror each other and complement each other. Be negative.
I mean, out of all of them, Safe Space and Snowflake is definitely the one. I mean, I'm not impressed so far. I haven't bought comics in a while, but this is not making me want to jump back into the foray.
Is the goth kid. When he was a baby, he got a rogue life-saving blood transfusion.
That's Morbius, mate. That is Morbius's little emo brother, for sure.
Assume from Michael Morbius, and now he has a very similar look.
I'm a genius.
And very similar vampire powers. B negative also is obviously a pun. It's a blood type, which is great for a vampire character.
Is it? No. Did you? Oh, wow. That is... You nearly had one over on me there.
And it's also a proud ownership of the idea of having a bad attitude. I want the people to read our new...
Wolverine, like, had a bad attitude when he first began, and there's so many superheroes who, you know, own having a bad attitude, but they don't. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna make a statement with my name. It's just the name that describes something about them. I mean, I guess for, you know, if you're a vampire, I mean, being named after blood, that is one thing, but I mean, yeah, I'm losing the will to live.
Warriors to feel all of the excitement that they felt if they read the 90s one. We wanted to have big, colorful characters, personality clashes, romance, diverse cast, which is...
All of which are good things. Everything you said in that little part there, I agree with. You know, there should be diversity in comics. There should be diversity in everything at the end of the day. It's a round world, the last time I checked. And it's a diverse one as well. So, I totally agree with you, mate. I absolutely agree with you on that. Is this the way to go about it? I don't think so. But, you know, there could be egg on my face. Probably not, but there could be.
Something that the New Warriors titles have always strived to make a priority. Every New Warriors comic has always felt like...
Look at look at the design of these. The thing with superheroes as well is the reason why you read them, like I read them, and I know a lot of my mates used to when we were in school and college, is you're projecting what you want to be, not what you are. Do you see what I'm saying? Although what I will say is, like with Spider-Man, I did identify with him because Peter Parker was the small skinny kid in school. However, he could do things that were far beyond his capabilities. He didn't just inherit some internet gas from his granddad.
like a reflection of the year that it
This makes me want to say sigh a lot. That's what I'm saying to you.
came out. And I don't think we're worried about being dated. I
think you'd be surprised, mate. I think this is going to be very dated very quickly. Very quickly. You've got to try. You've got to throw things out there. You've got to try and make it interesting and new for the new generations. I get that. And with every decade that comes along, there's always updates to this. I get that. That is not being disputed. I just don't feel that this is the way to do it. I mean, you don't have to have huge buff dudes around all the whole time, but do you really have to have someone with a magic backpack, another dude with internet gas, Snowflake and Safe Space? Just don't make me laugh, man. And then, whatever the last one was, what was he? Oh yeah, the vampire, Morbius 0.2.
Way more interested about it being now.
Now, I'm aware that the trailer for this has had like over 200,000 downvotes or dislikes on YouTube, so I don't think I'm alone. I think a lot of people have reacted a lot more venomously than maybe I have. I do find it just pretty hilarious. What I feel with this, quite frankly, is I feel they've tried pandering to an audience. They clearly are going for a very specific audience as well. However, I don't think that the audience even wants this. If I was that way inclined and they said to me, hey, your hero is now Safe Space and Snowflake, I'd say no. Give me the Spider-Man, alright? I mean, that was funny to me. I thought it was going to be more infuriating, maybe you know, annoying or whatever, but I thought it was a lot funnier than a lot of people are reacting to it. It is a bit of a giggle, to be fair. Okay, so the next trailer is for Children of the Atom. It's very short and sweet. It's only 2 minutes and 8 seconds, so we'll just go through this very quickly. Again, it's had some spicy reviews, so I thought I'd check it out, but I haven't watched it. I don't know any of the characters from it, but yeah, let's just dive into this together, guys.
There's so many things I could tease about Children of the Atom, but I will say one thing, and that's new characters.
X-Men.
Now, you told me that there's new characters. I can see that there's a Gambit, there's a Cyclops, there's an Angel, there's a Nightcrawler. In fairness, I don't know who the other one's supposed to be like, but this all looks very similar to things I've seen previously. So, you're lying to my face straight off the bat.
It's supposed to be something that is, you know, important to the now. And so what is more now than Zoomers?
What's more now than things we've ripped off from the past?
Children of the Atom has 5 new characters at the heart of it that...
They're not new. Don't lie to my face again, mate. Don't lie to my face again. That is not new. These are not new! Oh, my days. Okay.
Vita very meticulously wrote out entire backstories and histories and families and anything you want to know about these characters, Vita has thought about it already.
So, basically just done what someone who works in the comic book industry should do when they're creating new characters.
One of them has a TikTok.
Cyclops looks exactly the same as Cyclops from the 90s, man. The only difference that I can see here is you've just swapped genders with a lot of people here. That's all I can see.
One of them has a fitness Insta. One of them is basically the moderator for the mutant subreddit.
So what you've done, you're telling me you've gone and you've created new characters. So you've gone, taken the old characters, gender swapped them, and then given them traits which, quite frankly, you said previously you've done a lot of meticulous research. This all sounds like stuff that people who work in your office do. So where's the research? You just looked around. You went, oh, Deborah, what do you do on the weekends? Well, I'm a moderator on the weekends. Okay, right.
One of them is a cosplayer, and...
You are proving my point. This one annoys me a lot more than the previous one. My God.
The other one makes mutant music.
Mutant music? I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit curious.
For so long, it's like the larger media in the X-Men universe is like, mutants are bad, and like the X-Men are evil because they're mutants, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like...
That is the narrative?
What would Zoomers think of that? They would be like, no, they're great. Like...
How the X-Men react to these new characters who are their sidekicks is a major part of this.
Oh, so they're mini-me's! You've created mini-me's! Wow. I bet I used all of your cunning and wiles.
Story that is going to have all sorts of ripples through their titles and ours.
But also, it's an X-Men comic. There's going to be powers, and there's going to be punching, and there's...
Oh, wow. It's good to see that they'll still have the powers that the previous X-Men had.
Bad guys and all that kind of...
You know what's annoying about this? You already did, like, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, so you've already had them in the reboot in the modern age. So why is this necessary? I don't get why this is this is me off.
I'm very excited to have Vita Ayala and Bernard Chang as part of this title.
Bernard really, really brought the thunder on this. It's
got no idea who they are.
Dynamic.
Because he not only had to design these superhero identities, but also these civilian identities.
Okay.
And like people's moms.
The art is okay.
And like their little brother. And he's making these characters real and whole in a way that a lot of artists probably couldn't.
Every artist that came before you has done exactly that. There are worlds that are dedicated to the characters that you're just basically piggybacking off the back of. Oh, this is really annoying me. Bring back the New Warriors. God.
And was some of my first comics ever, and to be able to play in that universe and also to add to that.
And rip off that. You haven't added to it. You've not added to it. You've made mini-me's. That is what you've done. You've made mini-me's.
Universe is really a dream come true.
So if you've never read an X-Men book before and you're only familiar with them in other mediums, this is a great...
Just read the X-Men book. If you've never read the X-Men books, then just read the X-Men books. Why is this necessary? I don't see why this is necessary. Ugh.
Place to start off.
It's almost like the kids are our perspective, so anything that you don't know, you're discovering it through these kids. I don't think we've...
It's not like the old X-Men characters are so divorced from reality either that they, you couldn't have just done this with them. You couldn't just... Again, what happened to Ultimate X-Men?
Seen this perspective in X-Men comics before, and I think people are going to see...
Like I said, I haven't bought comics in a while. I haven't kept up to date with that world in a while. So maybe there's a reason why they don't do Ultimate X-Men. I don't know. but all I know is that I feel this is insulting to my intelligence. And if I was younger, I'd feel that too. Because here's the thing, if you're into comic books in that way, you know everything about them. It's just, you just become really ingratiated in the whole world. So this just seems pointless, quite frankly. So, Children of the Atom. In sum up, neither of these offerings have really made me want to go back into comic books at all. But at least with the New Warriors, they tried something. They tried something new. It didn't pan out, but they tried something. I'd be interested to see the like-dislike ratio on Children of the Atom, because I think this is weak. I think this is slovenly story making. Well, there you go, guys. That's my 2 cents on those 2 videos. For whatever that's worth, I don't know if it's worth anything. It's probably worth nothing, but there we go. It's my first video, and if anyone is watching this, I'd appreciate it if you, if you've got any pointers, you've got any tips or anything like that you'd like to throw my way, certainly do so down in the comments. But yeah, I think I'll just leave it there for now. I'll be trying to do this more regularly, but I thought I'd just get the first video knocked out. Not in that way, but just just done and out of the way and popped out there. And then now I'm gonna be doing some more regular videos from now on. It's not all going to be, it's definitely not going to be I'm not going back to this world again, but yeah, I just thought, don't be shy, give it a try. Okay, thank you. What?